Nicole here with Job Hunt Solutions, and today is Thursday, which means it's viewer question and answer day. Today's question is about how to tailor your resume for each role that you apply to. In a previous video, which you can find up here, we spoke about how to write your resume to pass these recruitment systems, and in there we talked about taking some of the keywords from the job description and making sure that you pepper that through your resume. And although that is true, it's really important that one particular piece of your resume, a lot of people decide to sort of keep it the way that it is for every single role that they apply, and that is the professional profile at the top of the resume. There's a key concept in marketing which is basically called above the fold. And what this refers to, if you can think back to newspapers, maybe you currently read the hard copy newspapers, but they're usually great big long sheets of paper, and they're all neatly together and folded in half. And the top bit of the newspaper, you're going to have the headline. That's the catch. That's what sells people the newspaper to begin with. What compels people to buy that particular newspaper and read the articles is what is on the headline. And this headline information is what's considered above the fold. So when a newspaper is folded in half, stuff above the fold is the headline news. Much the same way, your resume, if you look at the top maybe 2/3 to a half of the first page of your resume, that is the most important piece of real estate on your resume. So it's really important that your professional profile that you should have at the top of your resume is tailored and tweaked to make sure that it too includes any of the keywords from the job ad. So as an example, let's use human resources, and say if you are a human resources professional and you've worked in both a union environment and a non-union environment, and you're applying to two roles, one in union and one in a non-union environment. So when you're taking a look at your resume, that very top professional profile piece, you may have sort of a generic profile, a summary of your experience. If you're using this resume for the non-union role, and there's really nothing in there that speaks to unionized environment, that's fine. It's not really going to matter for that role. However, if you use that same profile for the union role, and you don't have any keywords that indicate your experience working in a unionized environment, well, then it may actually get overlooked, especially if your union experience doesn't really show up until the second page of your resume. If your profile, however, does have highlights your unionized experience in the professional profile, that's going to be fantastic for the union position. For the non-unionized role, however, it may not really make a difference, but you're kind of wasting that prime real estate for other keywords that you could pepper in that spot. So the important thing to remember is this above the fold section of your resume, or the first 2/3 to 1/2 of the first page of your resume. Keep in mind, if a recruiter gets between 250 to 500 or even more resumes per role that they have posted, they're probably only going to be speaking with about 10 to 15 candidates at most for each of these roles. So out of 500 or even 250 applicants, the chances of there being at least 10 other people who have the keywords in the right place on the resume is pretty high. And if you don't, that means you may not actually get a second look. Some other candidates may actually have their resumes professionally written, and that will definitely make them stand out amongst the cast of thousands who also apply to similar roles. So I hope that you find this information particularly helpful, especially if you're struggling to tailor your resume for jobs. Thank you so much for the great questions. Please do keep them coming. Of course, if you have any questions of your own, would like me to do a video for you, or would like to collaborate, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me on LinkedIn, Facebook, email, Twitter, whatever works for you. And of course, for personalized advice, come on over to my website, and I'd be happy to help. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy hunting!